episode of Southern Section this week. I'm Claudette Montana.
And I'm Connor Morrissette. We're here at West Ranch High School, where a little later on you will hear from head boys basketball coach Jeff Bryant, as well as two players on the 23-1 Wildcat squad. We also have some boys and girls basketball highlights from elsewhere in the section. A lot to get to this week.
A lot to get to. We're going to kick things off first, though, by starting with a segment that we like to call Ask the Expert. Here it is.
Time for another segment of Ask the Expert. As he's done a few times before on Southern Section this week, Tarek Fattel from the LA Daily News joins me. Tarek, thanks so much for being here.
Always, Connor. Let's do it.
Okay, so in the Daily News area, basketball, it's just loaded on the boys' side this year. And I want to start, I think a bunch of teams could make an argument to be the number one team in the Daily News coverage area, whether it's Harvard-Westlake, whether it's West Ranch, Sierra Canyon, if they're fully healthy. Notre Dame is so good. Who right now is the best boys basketball team in the Daily News coverage area?
Yeah, there's no question. I think it's Harvard-Westlake. Yeah, is it debatable? Absolutely. Anything's debatable these days. I think West Ranch would be a close second. The problem, I wouldn't call it a problem, the challenge with West Ranch is their league doesn't really challenge them that much. So they try and play in these showcases at this time of the year on a Saturday and try and kind of sharpen their tools, so to speak, because the playoffs are coming around. But Harvard-Westlake isn't only a one-loss team, and having that one loss isn't even to a team in California. They're playing in arguably the toughest league in California and still only have one loss. Now, they beat Sierra Canyon. That was undermanned, but they went into double overtime and beat a very good Notre Dame team. So that league tournament's coming up. I imagine they'll at least be in the final, and I think Harvard-Westlake's likely to be the 1 or even the 2 seed in the Open Division playoffs.
We touched on West Ranch. We're going to hear from head coach Jeff Bryant and a couple players a little later on in this episode. Tarek, who will make the Open Division on the boys' side from your coverage area? And as a follow-up, will the Mission League get 3 teams?
Yeah, it's a great question. So last year, we had 3 teams, Notre Dame, Harvard-Westlake, Sierra Canyon. Now all those teams are in the same league. I think a huge question mark is going to be if Sierra Canyon gets in, and that's because of their health. I don't know if Bronny James and Isaiah Elohim, that is, are going to play these next couple weeks. Are they going to kind of shut them down? Because it's likely, I would give a 99% chance that Sierra Canyon, Notre Dame, and Harvard-Westlake, they're going to finish within the top 4 of that league, which gives them an automatic berth to the playoffs. Now, do they go to the Open Division? I think it's likely we're going to see Harvard-Westlake go. West Ranch, obviously in a different league, is pretty much a lock. That's 2. And then the kind of floaters are Notre Dame and Sierra Canyon. The reason why I'm giving Notre Dame kind of more of a notch, they're healthy. Sierra Canyon isn't. All that to say, I think both those teams, Notre Dame and Sierra Canyon, will likely earn an automatic playoff berth from their league. Notre Dame, I think, gets in right now to the Open Division, and we could see Sierra Canyon, maybe because of the injuries, get their guys back and go to the Division I playoffs. Very, very possible scenario. And you know what, Connor? We could see Sierra Canyon modern day, Division I semifinal or final or something. Now, that's way down the road, but I'll consider that a bold take for now.
Interesting. And I saw Miracosta play last night. We'll have some highlights from them in the show as well. They look really good. They only have one loss, and it was to Mater Dei. So I think that Division I bracket will shape up quite nicely. We saw the McDonald's All-American game selections come down this week from the Daily News coverage area. It's Sierra Canyon focused with Bronny James on the boys' side and Juju Watkins on the girls' side making the cut. Is there a player or two who you think got snubbed from the Daily News coverage area, whether it's on the boys or the girls' side?
Yeah, I think for the boys, there's some usual suspects that everyone, the names are coming about, and they're kind of obvious. But I think locally, it's Caleb Foster, and he's a point guard at Notre Dame Sherman Oaks, and he's going to Duke. And I want to say at one point, maybe a sophomore, or even last year, he was like number 1 or 2 ranked in his position for the whole country, and he's oddly dropped down to like in the 30s now. All of a sudden, I think him transferring, although it shouldn't have, I think that's what kind of hurt him coming from Oak Hill Academy. And now he's at Notre Dame. I've heard kind of from the pundits and some of the scouts and some of the other guys that talk about this stuff that the way he plays and it has modified what kind of player he is. Notre Dame needs him to be a little more aggressive, so he's less of a traditional point guard, so that like dropped his ranking or something. It makes no sense. I've seen these guys play with my own two eyes. He's a great player. He can pretty much do anything, shoot from anywhere, and no one can stay in front of him, and he defends. So for me, it's a big one. Caleb Foster. I think he deserves to be in the McDonald's All-American game.
Speaking of Notre Dame, and we talked about Sierra Canyon earlier, potentially dropping to Division I. Those two teams are going to play at Pauley Pavilion coming up. That game, in my opinion, probably headlines the list of top games the rest of the way from your coverage area. Of course, the Mission League tournament will be great as well. What are some of the top games coming down the line in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, I think, the Marmani League is, it's got Agora, Oaks Christian, Calabasas, Thousand Oaks. So, and it's not of the level of the teams we're talking about. Those are not open division teams, but certainly who's going to win that league title? Big question mark. We don't know. Another league that's been really interesting in my coverage area is the Olympic League. It's got Heritage Christian and Village Christian and Maranatha in it. And out of nowhere, it's like no one knows who's going to win that league. And Heritage Christian is loaded with talent. And Village Christian, if I'm not mistaken, is the defending 2AA champion from last year. So in a really, really good division. That ain't no slouch division. So really talented teams that are still vying for a league championship, and it's unclear who's going to win it. So I didn't really give you a fixture, so to speak, but those are the two leagues where any game on a Tuesday or a Thursday or a Friday night, that's the place to be, because it could have league title implications.
Yeah, Maranatha taking down Village Christian earlier this week. That was a bit of a surprise. We'll get you out of here with this, Tarek. What is one bold prediction you have the rest of the way from teams in your coverage area?
Man, that's a good question. I'm going to say West Ranch gets to the Open Division final. West Ranch gets to the Open Division final. I think they got the talent. I think they have the rest, if I'm being honest. Most of their games right now, guys are playing like three quarters. I just wonder if they'll be ready for the talent that the Open Division possesses. And if you look at their schedule and the showcases and tournaments they've played in, I would say they are. So if they can just kind of rally the troops, I think they'll have a great Open Division playoff campaign, and I think they get to the final. I'm not going to quite say they win the thing, but getting to it, it is impressive enough, and I don't think many people have them pegged to do that. So that's my bold prediction.
Well, without even knowing, you just segued perfectly into our next segment, which is Coach's Corner with West Ranch head coach Jeff Bryan. I spoke with him earlier on, and I'm sure he's going to be very excited to hear what you just had to say, so I'll try my best to ask him about that at a later date. But Tarek, thanks so much for joining me. And up next, it's Coach Bryant from West Ranch.
Like you just heard, we got Coach Bryant here at West Ranch. And Coach, taking in one of your practices, that was some intense 5-on-5 at the end. Your group is 23-1. Is that fire a big reason why you've had so much success?
Yeah, absolutely. We try to get up and down, every practice, mainly towards the end of practice, and we want our guys to compete, and we want our practices to be harder than the games.
Yeah, it certainly looked like that tonight. What's it like when you have so many fiery guys vying for playing time? You can only play 5. This is like an all-star team at West Ranch, 23-1. How tough is that as a coach, balancing all that?
A lot of sleepless nights, and a lot of late night calls to my assistant coaches, getting their, opinion and their feedback. A lot of late night calls to the players to try to figure out, our lineups and our rotations. But like you said, I have 6 guys that can start. They go to any team in this southern section, they're starters. So I have a difficult time, but it's a good problem to have, I think.
You mentioned earlier this year when I talked to you, you wanted to make the Open Division at 23-1. That's obviously going to happen now. So that goal is pretty much accomplished. How do you go past that goal now, win a few games, and maybe even get to a championship, win a championship? How do you take this goal to the next level?
Yeah, just staying humble and hungry. Our goal definitely is to win an Open Division championship, and we know it's probably going to be the hardest thing that we ever had to go through in our entire life so far, including myself. When it comes to basketball, but it's going to be fun. We wouldn't ask for anything else than an Open Division, chance. So excited about it.
I wanted to ask you about the league. So the Mission League might have 2 or 3 Open Division teams, and it's a battle every night. The Foothill League, although some good teams are in it, it's a little bit of a different situation, a little bit easier. What's that like as a team with Open Division aspirations? Do you like having an easier league per se? Do you wish you were in like a Mission League level? Just take me through your league play and your thoughts on it.
Right, no doubt. The Mission League is probably one of the best leagues in the country. But don't underestimate the Foothill League. It is some talented coaches, and they do a pretty damn good job with preparing their teams, night in and night out. So, I appreciate the Foothill League. To me, it's like a big test for us. We go from playing, national teams and come to the Foothill League, and we can easily pick up bad habits, So we use these games as, set goals for ourselves. We have something called a kill. We're trying to get 3 stops in a row. So we try to get about 15 to 16 of those, each game in the Foothill League. So.
At what point this season, of course, before the year, expectations were high, but when did you know that this team really had a chance to do something great? When did that set in for you?
Well, kind of right away. I knew we had the talent. With Andrew Meadow coming back for his last year, I knew it was going to be special. We had 3 other guys we returned from last year's team: Jakari Miles, James Evans. Carson Yahad is another guy that gives us big minutes. Then we added Jazz and Isaiah. On top of that, Duro. So the talent is there. So if I thought otherwise, I shouldn't be in this position.
What's it like having a 7-footer like Jazz? Not too many high school teams have that luxury.
Yeah, it gives us an opportunity to be, aggressive on the perimeter, because we have 7 feet down there. It doesn't matter if they get blown by. We have that guy that's going to meet you at the rim. And then, offensively, he's able to get those putbacks. We're able to throw it down low to him. He's a 7-footer that is skilled. He can dribble, pass, and shoot, and that's definitely a good thing to have.
What's the buzz like on campus with such a good basketball team?
Everyone's excited. Our administration is excited, from our principal to our athletic directors to our teachers and, assistant principals. Everyone's excited because we're doing something that, they've never seen out here in Santa Clarita Valley. And we're just trying to, put smiles on everyone's face, bring everyone together. And it's so far so good. We want to keep it going.
You, of course, will want to make more memories as the year goes on, but do you have a favorite one so far? The Tarkanian Classic would come to mind, but best moment from the season so far?
Yeah, I would say probably the Damien tournament when we're down 25 points to Notre Dame. That was special. We go into halftime and we give them a speech that they're going to always remember for the rest of their lives, and they came out there and they took care of business. So that memory right there. And then after the game, the celebration, that was it.
Can you give me the G-rated version of the speech?
It was, you guys better put on your big boy pants because you're getting embarrassed right now. There should be no reason why we have 4 to 5, Division I basketball players, and we're down by 25 points at half. So.
Great. That's Jeff Bryant here at West Ranch. Coach, good luck the rest of the way. Should be an exciting finish.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
High school sports are one of the things that make living in California so great.
But sometimes the behavior in the stands can overshadow our achievements on the field.
I love it when my parents show up for me.
But being booed for missing a play could be crushing.
And remember that refs are people too.
They're trying their best to call a fair and correct game.
Hey, and enough with all the swearing.
No one should feel insulted or ashamed
because of their race, ethnicity, or gender.
We should be able to hold our heads high after the match, win or lose.
Joining me now is one of the future superstars at Boise State, correct? Yep, Andrew Meadow. I want to talk about your guys' season. You've had an incredible season, 23-1. What is it about this group that's allowed you guys to be so successful this season?
I think our biggest thing is just how many different guys we have. We have so many talented players, and the fact that we've been all be able to come together and grow chemistry together, I think that's our biggest difference between the other teams and us.
4 games left on the season. How do you finish off strong?
Just coming in every day with the same mentality. We got to work hard. We can't take any days off because playoffs is right around the corner.
Right. And speaking of that, an Open Vision Championship certainly in reach. What would it mean to you to get that opportunity?
I mean, it would feel amazing. It would mean everything to me. It's a big goal I've had all 4 years, and to think that my high school basketball career is almost over is crazy to think about.
Let's talk about you being a senior. Do you feel like you've stepped into more of a leadership role this season, being one of the older guys?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've always felt I've had to lead some of our guys the past 3 years that we've been young, but definitely this year I feel much more of a leader on this team, helping the younger guys and all that type of stuff.
All right, well, you're off to Boise State next year. What excites you the most about the opportunity to get up there?
Definitely just everything about their program, you know. Coach Rice and all the other coaches, they all believe in me, and it was just the perfect fit for me, and I can't wait to get up there this summer and start working.
Well, something that you have been working on is a project called Behind the Goggles, right? It's not inside the goggles, behind the goggles. I thought it was inside the goggles. It's behind the goggles, people, okay? Tell me about this. It looks like, you know, basically a vlog documenting your high school career. It's pretty awesome. Tell the people about it.
Yeah, I mean, on my YouTube channel, I just started a couple weeks ago. I think we're at episode 3 now. It's just behind my life, behind the scenes of me and my team as well. I want to showcase my teammates, and it's really well produced by Tony. Shout out to Tony, and yeah, go check it out on my YouTube channel.
And what's your YouTube channel so people can find you?
Just Andrew Meadow _, same as my Instagram.
Awesome. Well, best of luck rest of the season, and thanks so much.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
What is your shoe size?
15.
And how tall are you?
7'1".
Favorite off-court activity?
2K.
Favorite thing about California?
The weather, I guess.
Favorite music genre or artist?
Rap and Tupac.
What is your worst habit?
Video games.
Favorite sneaker?
KD's.
Favorite player in the NBA?
Joel Embiid.
Name something you cannot live without.
2K. Or basketball.
Okay, 3-point buzzer beater or slam dunk for the win?
3-point buzzer beater.
Favorite app on your phone?
Instagram.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Earlier this week, Mira Costa High School swept Peninsula in boys and girls basketball. We have highlights from both games. Here they are.
First, congrats on the win. How'd you get it done tonight?
Yeah, thank you. We tried to figure out how to stop 44 is the first thing. Peninsula's a great team. 44 is an incredible player. I don't think we did a very good job of stopping her, but I think we had a good team win. Hit some shots when we needed to and played defense in the second half.
Good.